culture around us is consistently deforming our walk with Christ, our worship of God, and our witness of the gospel. This deformation comes through entertainment, politics, secular education, and so on. The call for the church is reformation. All genuine reformation is found in the power of God through His inerrant and infallible Word. May God raise up an army of people who are firmly committed to be always reforming for the glory of God.
Grace and peace, you guys. April Chapman here with the Standard of Truth podcast, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. Happy Friday, y'all. I'm dressed down today. First of all, I have so much to tell you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, whether you're joining me on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Rumble. Thank you for joining me tonight. But I'm going to be super casual tonight and super laid back because, first of all, as y'all know, I did the G3 conference last week. And in case you don't know, G3 stands for Gospel, Grace, and Glory. It is a biannual Christian conference that takes place here in Atlanta, Georgia. And G3 wore me out. G3 wore me out so much so that I do not know this with 100% certainty. I think I had a mild case of the Rona because Sunday evening I entertained friends here at the house who were still here in town from G3. And then, honey, when I woke up on Monday, my body was like, heck no, you ain't going nowhere. I was going to use Monday to unpack all of my things from G3, set up my cameras, and just get back to business as usual, creating videos. And that did not happen. Your girl had body aches. And, Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Am I yelling at y'all? Thank you. I turned it down a little bit. Is that a little better? Am I too loud? So I had body aches. I had a fever. And head was just heavy. Now, my head is already big. So when you are dealing with like the flu or any sort of other virus, like people with big heads is already struggling, it's not a good combination. And so I was in bed. My voice had already gone. Voice was shot. Okay. And I took my pharmaceuticals that I get from the underground because I wasn't sure what I wasn't sure what I had. So I was like, well, let me just take this. I was around a lot of people, so who knows what the heck I had. But then the week got worse because I'm getting back into the swing of things, cooking dinner for the family. And then y'all, I burnt my face. I was making some Tuscan salmon. And normally when I do Tuscan salmon, so that my butter doesn't burn, I mix a little butter with a little bit of olive oil. And I was rushing trying to get dinner prepared, and all of this butter olive oil mixture just splattered all in my face. So y'all can't see it on camera, but I have a blister here on my lip, a blister over here, and then one up here that I had to put some concealer on. Robbie was like, what in the crash dummy is going on? I don't know, y'all. I was just in bad shape. So between being sick, burning my face off, and the blisters haven't quite gone down, they'll slough off eventually. It's amazing that I was able to go live tonight. So I said, listen, I can't get cute. Y'all gonna get a t-shirt and my nails is done. That was the best that I could do. But I am here with you because I have so much to tell you guys. So as you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt tonight, and it says, let's see if y'all can read it. It says Mark and Avoid. And I thought this shirt was fitting because we are going to be discussing Andy Stanley tonight. And we definitely need to mark and avoid Andy. I'm sure you have heard by now. But this weekend, y'all, here goes the nose itching. I'm just in bad shape. Andy Stanley is having a conference. He has labeled it a Christian conference, but it is hardly Christian. And it is to support parents of LGBTQ, and it has a host of pastors who are gay affirming. And I believe 2 of the pastors are actually married. They're male pastors married to men. And so I said, I got to go, and we kind of have to discuss Andy Stanley, but I want to discuss it in a broader context. I want to talk about Andy Stanley tonight from the perspective of a parent. And I want to talk because I am a parent, and this topic is very near and dear to me because I understand what it's like to raise children in this godless culture where nothing seems normal anymore. And because I am a mom and because I have children, I understand the desire to want to love your children and to have compassion for your children. We should have love and compassion for all image bearers, but obviously you're going to have a special heart affection for those that are from your own loins. You've birthed them, you carried them, you've nurtured them. If you're a mama and you nurse them, you already know the bond that is there. However, this conference that Andy is promoting, that is actually at his church at Northpoint, is very, very disturbing. And while I could spend a whole lot of time talking about how Andy Stanley is wrong on this issue and how, yes, we do need to mark and avoid him as he is promoting doctrines of demons and attempting to reimagine love and to reimagine what it means to be a follower of Christ. You guys, y'all know every couple of weeks this happens. I can't figure out what the heck this is that is making my nose itch, but it's itching, and I'm gonna try to resist the urge to scratch. But y'all are like family, and y'all already know how we get down over here. But anyway, the issue that I am seeing with this particular, oh Lord, I don't know. We may have to go to a commercial break. The issue that I see with this particular situation is how, as a parent, sometimes we can love our children. We can love our children straight to hell. And when I say that, I am not saying that to be like, ooh, for shock value, but I am saying it because it is true. I have been asked numerous times, well, what would you do if, your son came to you and said, Mom, I am having same-sex attractions? Or what if your daughter came to you and said, Mommy, I think I might like girls? it's easy for us on the outside looking in to say, you know, how we would handle it, but you don't really know how you're going to handle it until you're in that situation. However, I want to exhort believers this evening to search your heart and to recognize that we are called not only to die to ourselves, but we are called to, if you believe that you've been born from above, and if you believe that you are a born again Christian and God has justified you and raised you to newness of life, our loyalty is to the one who died for us first. That's first and foremost. After that, if you're married, comes your spouse. After that, believe it or not, I know popular opinion would say, you know, the kids come before the spouse, but no, it's God, it's your spouse, then it's your children. There is a hierarchy in terms of who we are to place. There's levels to this, right? And so what I would say with this situation with Stanley, I believe he is taking advantage of a situation where parents really don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And they're like, I love my child and I just want to know how to help them. How do I support them in this? So my goal tonight is to just make this really, really simple. If I could concentrate without my nose wilding out, I got to take a break, you guys. Give me one quick second.
The culture around us is consistently deforming our walk with Christ, our worship of God, and our witness of the gospel. This deformation comes through entertainment, politics, secular education, and so on. The call for the church is reformation. All genuine reformation is found in the power of God through His inerrant and infallible Word. May God raise up an army of people who are firmly committed to be always reforming for the glory of God.
You guys are so patient. Thank you for loving me through whatever the heck it is that my nose is going through. I have scratched it. I have rubbed it. I've done all that I know how to do. Let's see how long this lasts. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. It just does this every now, like it's the left. Normally it's only one side. Right now it's the left side. In the last couple of shows back, it was the right side. See right there. There it goes. Right there. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, maybe I got parasites. I probably need to do a parasite cleanse. Now, see, that just grossed all y'all out. You're like, what do you mean? All of us have parasites, okay? If you've eaten meat, even if you eat vegetables, you have these organisms that live on the inside of us. And I don't know if that's what it is, but I'm trying to function. So anyway, so as I was saying, with Stanley, I think in an effort to be the answer to the questions that many parents have, instead of him taking them to an objective standard, which is God's word, to say, listen, we love our children, but we don't do this with any other sin. So for example, to make this simple, if your son or daughter came to you and said, you know, Mom, I have this proclivity to where every time I see a person, it doesn't matter. They don't have to look a particular way. They don't have to wear a particular outfit, but I just feel compelled to engage in sexual relationships with them. Let's keep it on the same sex. We don't even, the opposite sex. This is in a heteronormative situation. Your child comes to you and says, I am struggling with this lust in my flesh and I don't know, but I am just unable I am unable to stop these thoughts. And when I see a person, the next thing I know, we're just in the bed and we're doing it and I don't know how to stop. Would you have any problem talking to your child and going straight to the scriptures to explain to them that the first question you need to ask them is, do they profess to be a believer? Have they placed their faith in Christ? Because if they're telling you that they're not even a Christian, then we can have a conversation about this particular sin. We can do that. But the overarching issue that this person has is that they are dead in their sin, right? They're dead in their sin. They need to be made alive in Christ Jesus. And that's not something that you can do. That's not something you can do. That's not something your pastor can do. That's not something that anyone can do outside of God alone. You either believe that salvation is a work of God, or you believe that it is something that can be conjured up within a sinful, fallen heart, and they can just make this decision, right, to get a new heart and to change their affections. Now, either you agree, here it goes. Oh, wow. Either you agree that salvation is of the Lord, or it is something that can be conjured up in the heart of man. Now, if you believe that it's something that can be conjured up in the heart of man, I would say, fine. If that's your argument, why is it that you don't have the ability to have an affection that is the opposite of what you're saying? You have this draw, right? But if you believe what the scriptures teach, which is that no one can come to me, meaning the Father, unless the Spirit of God draws him, and I'll raise him up on the last day. If you believe that, then you will believe that Romans 1:16, the gospel is the power of God unto salvation. You have to give your child the gospel, whether it's this situation where they're saying, Mom, I don't know what it is, but I just have this propensity I like sleeping around. Right? You wouldn't make excuses. You wouldn't make excuses for this sin. You wouldn't make excuses if they say, every time I go in Walmart, I have to leave with something. I'm just a kleptomaniac. I have to steal that which doesn't belong to me. Whatever the sin is, we can take homosexuality out of the equation, even though I believe that these sexual sins you're sinning against your own body. It's a sexual perversion, whether it's heterosexual or homosexual. We wouldn't do this with any other sin. So when parents are coming to, if you're a pastor and you're watching this, and parents are coming to you saying, I don't know what to do, I don't understand why we can't be honest and just say, listen, salvation is of the Lord. And if you have done your part by giving your child the gospel and telling your child that you love them, but that you are not going to affirm them in their sin, you're not going to affirm them if they go on a murdering spree. You're not going to affirm them if they want to sleep around if it's a female and she's like, I like doing, 50 guys a week. You wouldn't affirm them in this sin. At some point, you would tell them, I love you enough to hand you over to the Lord. I will be here for you. I'm not going to cut you off in the sense that my door is always open. You can call me. I will pray with you. You can come over. We can eat. We can do all those things. You are to treat your child like you would any other unbeliever. You would evangelize them, but that you would just love them. But you're not going to affirm them in their sin. I think what Andy Stanley is doing is he is trying to provide answers on top of the fact that he's an apostate trying to provide answers. So the answers that he is providing are unbiblical ones. And in an effort to placate to the culture, he is I can't sit here this whole show. I cannot sit here. Oh my God. What am I do? Y'all, maybe this ain't meant to be. I don't know. Let's do this. Because this is so distracting to me that I can't even focus on my own thoughts because it's itching so bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this live stream and I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to wash my face and we're going to start all over again. But if I still can't get it to stop, you guys, I will just come back and I will do this live stream tomorrow. But this is incredibly distracting for me to sit here. Like, my nose is on fire. I feel like I have fire ants just right around here. And if I could just sit the whole show and massage it, we would be fine. But the moment I stop, it hurts. It's itching. And I can't. So I love y'all, but I can't do it. I have some apple cider vinegar in here with some water, but I'm not about to splash this on my face. So I'm going to go. Is it Georgia ragweed? Is it? Maybe it's an allergy. We don't have pets. I don't have a pet. I do live around a lot of forests, but I don't know what it is. My eyes don't itch. It's just my nose. And it's like every time I stop, it starts up again. So y'all come back. Do I have a neti pot? I do, but it's my son's. I'm not about to share his neti pot. I would have to sterilize that. It's not in the nose. It's on the skin right here. Right here. It's like there's something there and it keeps going like this and going like this and I keep rubbing it. So I'll be back, y'all. I'll be back. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit.